everybody for being here today. Good round of applause for our speaker. My name is Bruce Caballero, and I am a project manager in team sport. Who wants to win the lottery? Okay, full disclosure here, I'm not talking about Delaware lottery or the Powerball. I'm talking about the lottery of life. What would you be willing to do to win the lottery? Not just the Delaware lottery, the Powerball, but let's call it the lottery of life. Something that you actually have a chance at winning. What would you be willing to do to receive $1,000 a day for the rest of your life as long as you do your part? What would you be willing to invest of your time, energy, and financially to ensure a lifetime of health, wellness, and well-being free from chronic disease and pain? What would you be willing to do to ensure that you come out a winner? Because after all, if you don't play, you can't win, right? I'm here today to talk about some of the options you have that are available to you and help you to get you to think, hopefully, about your future, not just financially, but physically. Let's call it sweat equity, because that's really what it is. After all, what good is saving money for your future if you won't have the health to enjoy your wealth in the future? Or worse, you end up spending all of your savings going to the doctor because of ill health. Now that I have the intro out of the way, I want to talk about me a little bit personally. I didn't stay at the Holiday Inn Express last night, but I do have a little bit of experience. At the ripe old age of 13 years old, I was diagnosed with teenage or juvenile osteoarthritis. In 2001, or I should say I was already living with chronic pain and having to see doctors for it. In 2001, at the advanced age of 35, my doctor spoke to me of an aggressive form of spinal arthritis known as ankylosing spondylitis, or AS for short, for which there is no known cure. The doctor was very specific. He said, "You have the arthritis of a 90-year-old man. Your options are limited. You have, by all expectations, you'll probably be in a wheelchair by the time you're 60 years old." We discussed two courses of action. One, become a case study test patient, taking experimental medications that nobody really knew what they would do for me. Would they give me cancer? Would they help me or cure me? Would they kill me or make me better? Would they make a third hand go out of the middle of my forehead? Just didn't know. Option two was a little bit more palatable, even if only slightly so. Live with it. Manage your symptoms as best as possible through physical therapy, diet and exercise, eating anti-inflammatory foods, and focusing on flexibility, strength and cardio training, and most importantly, remaining as active as possible in the years to come. Fast forward 15 years to the age of 50. Just 3 years ago, I had my first spinal surgery. I had discs replaced in my neck at C4-5 and 5-6. The degenerative nature of AS had advanced to the point that the pain in my neck, the numbness in my arms had become so severe that it was affecting the quality of my life. Living with chronic pain and fatigue were and still are to some degree a fact of daily life. My newest chronic issue is migraines. They come and go, but it's generally a daily thing. I woke up this morning with one, but I'm here. Yes. While surgery was successful in helping, the post-operative physical therapy reinforced the need for physical training. But it kind of took me on a different path than before. I saw how much good was being done by the physical therapists, how they cared for their patients, how truly devoted they were to helping others. Not just helping others, but helping others to help themselves. Something that I had long been deeply passionate about. About 2 years ago, I joined the DMRC, or the Delaware Medical Reserve Corps. I was given new opportunities to work in the community. By working through them and training through the University of Delaware and DHSS, I received certifications to become a community liaison, a health coach, if you will, with the goal to bring a program called Healthy Delaware to the community. Some of the topics that I currently work to bring awareness about our healthy living, living with chronic disease and chronic pain, heart health, and diabetes. But my passion truly lies with instructing for CPR and AED use, how to use a tourniquet for Stop the Bleed, cancer awareness and prevention, and in particular, helping those dealing with chronic depression, many times stemming from one of the previously mentioned issues. Sadly, either someone in my family or someone very close to me has been affected by one or all of these, so these topics are really near and dear to my heart. Taking a step back in my history book, in 2002, my older sister, who I had adored my entire life, after dealing with a lifetime of bipolar chronic depression, decided she couldn't take it anymore and she took her own life. Needless to say, my family and I were truly devastated. But I do want to say, how often do we lament the moment when something negative happens only for a greater good to come from it? Good from tragedy. It was at this time that it was reinforced that I had a choice that I needed to make. Do I want to live? Not just to continue surviving for the day, but to truly live. To live for my family, and to live for those around me. And to really start planning for my future, to make physical goals to overcome the hurdles that were before me. I needed to adapt, improvise, and overcome if I had any hope of living a life, of having a life worth living. After all, as my doctor said to me, you're going to hurt. You need to make the choice of whether you're going to hurt and be healthy at the same time. You as well may need to make that decision. It may not be easy. It may well be a mountain that you'll have to overcome, that you'll need to climb. I know that for me personally, it has been a mountain. But I set goals for the long term. But even if the goals were just for today, I knew that the mountain before me was not insurmountable, that it could be climbed. And just with any climbing activity, you shouldn't do it by yourself. I would suggest that you get an accountability buddy, be it your partner at home or someone here at work. Focus on helping someone to help themselves, and they can help and support you in this process as well. My wife of 32 years tomorrow is one of those people. And for me, she is my main inspiration to get and stay healthy. But I also have to say, so is the group that I work with here at Delaware, Team Support. It's not just a name or a slogan. We truly are supportive of each other. We have a mindset of helping each other and supporting each other and those around us. So, self-assessment time. This is for you and you alone. No hands, please. But be honest with yourself. Who here gets 30 minutes of moderate exercise, a minimum of 5 days a week? Me, my personal goal is for a minimum of 1 hour a day. Usually I try to get 2 to 3 miles with flexibility and cardio first thing in the morning and strength training in the evening. Some days I might get 15,000 steps, some days it might only be 1,000. But you got to do something. Granted, it's taken me years to reach this goal, but think about it this way. No one climbs Mount Everest in a day. That said, you have to put one foot forward first, and then another step and so on. Set achievable goals for yourself and commit to accomplishing them. I didn't get here overnight. It took time and effort to get here. It may be the same for you. Every day is a struggle, but as is often the case, the things most worth doing are not going to be easy. So you make the best of it. When I wake up at 4 a.m. in pain, I don't go and sit out on the couch and watch TV. I head to the gym before work. Make the choice to see the best in every day. Let me ask you, how's your diet? Do you get enough fruits, vegetables, fiber? Yeah, I know I don't, but I do my best to eat healthy. Do you know your family history? How about, do you have a list of chronic diseases in your family? Is it written down somewhere for easy access or for your children to have in the future? Are you at a healthy body, BMI? Do you smoke cigarettes? What about your blood pressure and cholesterol? Do you know your overall risk for chronic disease? How about heart disease? Do you know your risk factors for getting cancer? These are all things that you need to consider and should discuss with your healthcare provider sooner than later. There are many programs available to you to help you succeed in getting healthy and staying there. But you might say, what if I already have issues? There are options available to you as well, but ultimately, you are the one responsible for making the choice to seek those out. Our health care programs, Delaware, Caballero are offered through Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Many options are available that will give you the goals, the tools, and support that you need to succeed. 3 words for you: prevention, testing, and treatment. Find out how you can lower your risks. There are specific tests available that can find signs of disease in the early stages while they're easily treatable. Learn about the many programs available to you to help you get and stay healthy. As we are the Department of Transportation, I would submit to you that our bodies are our main mode of transportation. And as with any vehicle in long-term ownership, regular preventative maintenance is the key, and it's critical if we plan to keep our vehicles in good working order. Wouldn't you agree? What lengths would you go to if you knew that you could never trade in your vehicle ever again for another? Well, think about it. You can't. You're stuck with this body for life, so you better take care of it. So now, if having good health, free from chronic disease, is the key to winning the lottery of life, is there really a price that you can put on it? Is it worth that $1,000 a day? Or truly, is it priceless? We've been given a copy of this brochure, Prevent, Test, and Treat Chronic Diseases through DHSS and Department of Public Health. It's a wealth of information for us to use. There's everything in here from schedules of when you should have certain things done, smoking cessation, how to eat healthy. There's even a little resource guide in the back that has a list of phone numbers and addresses that you can look to. And there's also a place for you to put down pertinent information. At 53 years old and change, I may still be on track for additional surgery, but I want to say I'm doing everything I can to push that off for as long as possible. I would encourage you to do the same by getting healthy and staying active, or said another way, stay active, stay healthy, stay whole. I would also suggest that you bring someone along for the ride. Help them help themselves and do it together. Thank you.